What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about when I personally believe is the best time to buy gold. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for new videos all the time. Subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive bonus content. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. Try out some G Fuel Energy Formula, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. And of course, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account. You can deposit as little as you'd like, even as little as a penny. Still works, still counts. You still get your up to 12 free fractional shares. And every single month, they have a new promo going on, which allows you to get even more free stocks or free cash to invest however you'd like. Webull link in the description. If you don't want the stocks, get them anyway, sell them. Congratulations, now you have some cash to go and buy you some gold. All right, so today I wanted to talk about gold. I will be talking a little bit about silver as well. And as always, my videos, not necessarily something to watch. I'm not going to be showing off a great deal in this video. My videos are typically something to listen to. I don't want you to be distracted from doing what you're supposed to be doing and sitting there staring at a screen. I want you to be able to drive to work or be on the job or get something done, be productive, and just listen to what I have to say in the background. Treat it like a radio show or a podcast. All right, so on to gold. I want to talk about, in my opinion and from my perspective, when I think is the best time to buy gold. Now, of course, I wanted to preface the video by saying I have my own stance when it comes to precious metals. I had been stacking them for several years. I haven't really been focusing on them very much in the last year or two. I still love the precious metals, and I do think that they are, or at least can be, an excellent way of preserving wealth long term. I just happen to think that they are better at preserving wealth that you already built. I don't think that they are a way of building wealth necessarily. So right now, I'm a little bit more focused on building wealth, building something up for myself and investing so that later on down the road, I can take what I had built up for myself and convert it to something that can help me preserve what I had built, such as potentially silver and or gold. I just want to preface the video by saying that this video is not going to be about, the difference between, stacking gold and investing. No, I just want to focus on the precious metals today. I just wanted to say that because this is coming from the perspective of somebody that's not aggressively stacking. But when do I believe is the best time to buy gold? The best time to be converting your dollars into gold? If you are someone focused on the precious metals, I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and go ahead and assume you're stacking far more silver than gold. Let's be honest, if you're in the silver and gold stacking community, 9 out of 10 of us prefer silver over gold. Not because we have anything against gold, it's just tougher for us to get our hands on it, and maybe we see a lot more opportunity in the beautiful white metal as opposed to the beautiful yellow metal, because at the end of the day, that is what I refer to silver as. And for those of you who aren't just listening, maybe you are watching, let me give you a visual. Man, can't breathe out here. Here's a Canadian maple leaf for you. But at the end of the day, many people view silver and gold the way that I view silver and gold, because they're different metals for different reasons. It's not like, oh, I like silver better because I just like the color. No, that's not why we prefer silver over gold, and that's not why some of us prefer gold over silver. It has nothing to do with the color. It's not the same metal in a different color. They're completely different metals. for completely different reasons. It takes more of one metal to equate to a troy ounce than the other. They have different melting points. They're used in a lot of the same ways when it comes to, you know, different industries and whatnot, but they have different uses as well. They're very different metals. But the way I see them, the way I view them, is very similar to how a lot of other people view them, and maybe they're not conscious of it, but when I explain it the way that I typically explain it, a lot of people are like, yeah, that makes sense. I view silver as the opportunity metal. I think there is far more room to grow on the silver side of things, but I think that there is far more stability on the gold side of things. So if you are someone that is focusing entirely, exclusively, or even just primarily on precious metals, I think it's a good idea to have both: silver for the opportunity, gold for the stability. But at the same time, even though I refer to silver as the opportunity metal for obvious reasons, I refer to gold as the powerhouse metal, because between the two, I think gold is the ultimate wealth preservation tool if you're using metals. I think gold is better at preserving wealth that you already built up for yourself. That's why you see the big dogs, the multi-millionaires, the billionaires of the world stockpiling gold, especially when they feel as though the economy is going to be going through a rough patch. That's when they pick up more gold. Usually they're not focusing on gold. They use gold as a safe haven, but they use gold as a safe haven for a reason. This part of the woods is always really windy. Bear with me. Let me just get through this spot. But they use gold as a safe haven for a reason. It's because gold offers them a way to add a little bit of stability to the portfolio. Meanwhile, silver is much more volatile. It's the much more volatile metal between the two. Silver, I think, is better as a buy the dip type of metal. Silver has much more dramatic ups and downs. Now, both metals, if one metal takes a hit, usually the other metal takes a hit with it. But percentage-wise, a lot of the time you'll notice that if both metals are in the red today, you know, silver might be down 2%, and you'll notice that gold's down as well, but it might only be down like 0.4%. That's kind of typical. So during times like those, gold offers a little bit more stability, usually. But the same is true the other way around. When the metals are moving in upward direction, usually silver climbs up at a much higher pace or higher rate. So if your goal is to buy low and sell high, or buy low and convert to gold at a high point, because let's be honest, if the gold to silver ratio gap closes in, it's probably going to be due to silver climbing up versus gold falling down. So if your goal is to convert your silver to gold when the ratio gap closes in, it's most likely going to be during a time where silver sees like a very unusually high spike. Gold will probably be up at that point too, but it's probably not going to rocket the way that silver is more likely to, I should say. Gold could take off as well. I don't really see that happening. So if that's kind of the game that you're attempting to play or hoping to play, I think silver is better for that reason. But when it comes to gold, due to the fact that it's usually much more stable, I think the best time to buy gold is, it's going to sound a little bit ridiculous, but always, or on at least a regular basis. If you want to save up a little bit of cash and pick up a gold coin every month or maybe every couple of months, and you want to keep that routine, I think that's the best way of stacking gold. Because the way things go, and with how stable gold typically is, it's not like every week things get shuffled up and, oh, gold is overvalued this week or it's undervalued that week. I think gold is fair valued. And I think gold has been fair valued for quite some time now. I do think silver is likely to be undervalued, which is why I said before, I think there might be more opportunity there. But I don't think you really want to put all your eggs in one basket with your fingers crossed, hoping for the opportunity to present itself, because it might not. Let's be honest. Let's be fair. Let's be truthful. We are not in control of the spot price. World events play a big role in what the spot price is looking like. There are so many different factors at play that all come down to this one very specific thing, and you don't want to have all your eggs in one very specific basket. So I don't think it's a great idea. I think it's a good idea to have some for diversification purposes, and if and when we do see that spike, you can make the most of it. But gold, I think, for at least the time that I've been stacking for, there's no bad time to stack gold. In fact, I would go as far as to say it appears that it's always a great time to buy gold. And keep in mind, like I said in the beginning of the video, this is coming from this perspective of somebody that's not aggressively stacking at this time, or even really actively stacking at this time. I can't even remember the last time I picked up gold. So I'm not trying to hype up gold for any particular reason. I'm not even really hands-on when it comes to the precious metals at this time, and I do not plan on selling any that I own. I've never sold any silver, any gold that I own, and I don't plan on it. I just wanted to readdress that right there, because this isn't coming from the perspective of somebody who all day long just does nothing but think about silver and gold. No, I'm being objective when I say this. I'm not even very involved. I am not even really hands-on at this time. But I still believe that to be true. I think one could make the argument that there's never really a bad time to buy gold. I think it's a pretty solid idea if you're looking to save money for the long term. If you're looking to preserve wealth for the long term, wealth that was already built up, I think gold can probably do a very, very, very good job. I think gold could do an exceptional job at preserving wealth long term, wealth that was already built up, that you want to preserve. And I think it's an even better time to buy gold when the economy is booming, when we're in a better place economically, across the board, financially speaking, when things are doing better. Reason for that is because that is when gold is off the radar. During inflationary times and recessionary times, and when the economy is on shaky grounds, that's when gold falls back on the radar, because like I said before, the big dogs, the wealthiest of the wealthy, start looking at gold at the very least, or potentially starting to stockpile gold out of fear. Fear for a need of a buffer, for stability. an airbag to cushion the blow. If there's a car accident that's inevitable, you're going to want a seatbelt, you're going to want an airbag. That's how people view gold. They view it as a safe haven. So what if maybe, just maybe, we stack up gold when it's off the radar, when people aren't focusing on picking up large amounts of gold, and maybe during times where they're selling some of their gold, they're liquidating some of their portfolio to take the currency and put it back into their business or put it into real estate or invest it in the stock market. During times like those, that's when we see the spot price kind of lagging behind a little bit. We're moving in a downward direction, seeing a slight, subtle downward trajectory for a little while. That right there is an even better time to buy gold, in my opinion and from my perspective, because you're getting the same thing, obviously at a lower price, which means it goes from what I said before. I believe it's kind of fair valued right now, but when the economy is in a better place and the spot price of gold moves in a downward direction, then we might be able to make the case that gold is, becoming undervalued, which means, the value exceeds the cost, and it's just a fantastic time to buy it, an even better time to buy it. You could make that argument all day. Moral of the story is, I don't think there's a bad time to buy gold, and I do believe that by picking up gold from time to time, you don't have to be aggressively stacking it. You can even just pick up a couple pieces of gold throughout the year whenever it's convenient for you. You don't have to be hardcore about it. You could be, a casual stacking person, and it'll offer you a little bit of stability to the portfolio, even if you're much more focused on the stock market at this time, or if your primary focus is building wealth as opposed to preserving it, because maybe you're like me and you don't have a whole lot of wealth to preserve just yet. You need to build something up before you can preserve it. Maybe you're focused on a business, real estate, stocks, whatever. I still think that if you pick up a little piece of gold every now and then, if you can get it for a good price and without having to pay a hefty premium, I think it can offer a lot of stability long term. I think it could potentially be a really good way of diversifying the portfolio, because you'd have a little bit of currency in a different asset class. This particular asset class being the physical precious metals. Now, silver can obviously be a way of diversifying even further, but that's not really what this video is about. This video, I wanted to focus more on the beautiful yellow metal. I wanted to focus on gold, because there's really no bad time to buy gold, and it can open up a lot of doors for you later on down the road. And even if you're one of those people, and sorry, I'm by that windy part as well, more open area right by the water, I apologize if the audio is bad. But even if you're one of the many people, the overwhelming majority of people in the stacking world seem to, I don't know if they have a preference between the two metals. They just choose to stack silver. I know a lot of people say silver's the poor man's gold. I disagree. I think silver and gold is gold. They're very different. I don't think one is the poor man's version of the other. I don't think the other one is the rich man's version of that one. I don't agree with that. But I understand why people say that, and I understand why people might have fallen into that belief. I get it. It does make a little bit of sense. I understand why I understand where they're coming from when they say it. I just don't agree with it. But if you're someone that is primarily focused on silver, and for the record, my entire stacking journey, I was 99% focused on silver. Very small. Or I'll say 95% focused on silver, and 5% focused on gold. I have picked up a little bit of gold over the years. My own personal gold to silver ratio, I am super silver heavy. I don't even know my ratio. I wouldn't even say the ratio is 95 to 5. It's probably like 99 point something to 0 point something, if I'm going to be honest with you. I have far more silver than gold. But if you're someone like me who tends to pick up far more silver than gold, see, here's the thing. Silver is easier to get your hands on up front. It's easier to go and get $50 or $100 worth of silver because it's easier to save up $50 or $100. But if you do that every week for a couple weeks, you're going to have $2,000 worth of silver easily. Meanwhile, if you just held onto your cash for those couple of weeks, you could have went and got $2,000 worth of gold in one shot rather than $2,000 worth of silver over the course of a couple of weeks or over the course of a month or two. That's the only difference. The frequency. People would rather pick up the cheaper of the two metals more frequently than to pick up the more expensive of the two metals a little bit more spaced out. But at the end of the day, would it really kill you to wait a couple weeks or a month or two to pick up a little bit of gold instead? Every now and then. You could pick up silver every week if you want to, but maybe from time to time, wait it out a couple of weeks and save up for a little piece of gold instead, and then get right back to silver. See, this is a mistake that a lot of people tend to make, and it's a mistake that I've made in the past as well. Just silver, completely neglecting gold. Failing to remember the importance of balancing out the precious metal portfolio for yourself. Now, as someone that is not currently or aggressively or actively stacking, if and when in the near future I decide for myself that I want to, jump back in, at least just to spice things up a little bit, I do still really want that 1 ounce gold buffalo. I've been wanting that since the very beginning. That was the first gold coin that really drew me in. That was the first gold coin that I didn't just want, but I needed. It was one of those. Like, I don't just want it, I need it. Like, I need to get one of those. And 2020 was the year that I was kind of hoping to do it, especially with everything going on. I wanted to get it at the end of the year and make it my 2020 survival badge. That would have, I love that gold coin. I love the way it looks. I love everything about it. I love the obverse. I love the reverse. It's just such a beautiful, gorgeous coin. But like I said in the intro when I prefaced the video, it's just, for me personally, it's just not the right time to be focusing on that. But for a lot of people it is. For a lot of people now is the time to be stacking, and that's what this video is supposed to be for. But if and when we get to a point where stacking, it becomes time for me to start stacking more aggressively again, that is one thing that I would like to do. I would like to get myself the 1 ounce gold buffalo coin. Oh man, it's just I love that coin. Love everything about it. I love the way that it looks. I love that by going after a 1 ounce gold piece, which would be my first 1 ounce gold piece. I only have fractional gold, 10th ounce, 1/4 ounce gold coins, a little 1 gram gold bar. Like that's all I really have. I don't have anything larger than that. I don't even have a 1/2 ounce gold coin, let alone a 1 ounce gold coin. So if and when it becomes time to start focusing more attention on the precious metals again, that's one thing that I will be going after. That's one thing that I will absolutely be doing. I really, really want that gold buffalo. It's just, unfortunately, it's just not the time for me. So when I'm ready to jump back in, that will be a target of mine. But just because it's not the right time for me to be aggressively stacking at the moment doesn't mean that it's the wrong time for you to be aggressively stacking at the moment. Maybe now is the time for you to be stacking. Maybe right now precious metals are the number one priority for you, and maybe they make the most sense. Maybe they make far more sense than the stocks at this time, or business at this time, or real estate at this time, or riding the high yield, high interest rate at this time. Maybe precious metals make the most sense for you at this given time. And if that's the case, I really don't believe that it's the wrong time to be stacking gold. I really don't believe there's ever a wrong time to be stacking gold. Unless, of course, it's during the middle, like right in the middle, right at the peak of a financial disaster where everyone and their brother, everyone and their grandma's trying to pick up as much gold as they can, in which case the spot price is going to be going up because of supply and demand. Premiums are going to be going up because of supply and demand. And there's all this hype and excitement around gold. And not only that, it becomes the new trendy topic. Remember what happened to silver in 2020? Silver became a trend. People started picking up silver just because it was a trendy thing to do. People started talking about silver because it was a trendy thing to talk about, and all of a sudden it was on everybody's radar. Is that really the time to be going out and about picking up gold during a time where like everyone's target is gold? Like, I don't really think so. I like the fact that, you know, precious metals are kind of off the radar for the most part. I like the fact that it's kind of like, it's almost like a discrete thing. I like that. I like the fact that it's not super trendy. I like the fact that no one really talks about it outside of the stacking community. I like how it's kind of like its own niche thing. So it's like you almost become a target during those times where everyone is all of a sudden, oh, I gotta get gold, I need gold, I need gold. Who has information about gold? Gold. All of a sudden, the people that are stacking gold become like, you know, maybe I shouldn't say target, because I don't think, you know, many of us probably walk around advertising it, but anyway. In conclusion, I believe the best time to buy gold is whenever you have the currency to buy gold. I don't think there's a right and wrong time. I don't think that timing the market is the best idea. I think with silver, you stand a better chance of being able to play that game just because of like how much volatility there is. I think, and it's not even something I would encourage. It's not something that I'd be willing to do. I think there's too much effort. I think there's too much, it's too time consuming. You have to spend too much time like focusing on that, where for me it's not buy low, sell high, it's buy now, sell never. That's what I've been saying for a long time. I do not plan on selling any of my silver. I do not plan on selling any of my gold. If I do part ways with any of my silver, it would be just simply to convert it to gold. That's the only thing I could see myself doing. Now, could something go wrong and I'm forced to part ways with my metals just because I need to fund something? Sure. The precious metals could be somewhat of a physical at-home emergency fund, but I really hope things never get that bad. I like to believe that I'm preparing myself in other ways, so hopefully I'll never need to dip into the stack. But that's really the only way I could see myself parting ways with the metals. In the event of an emergency where I have no other options, or if it's to convert some silver to some gold. Other than that, I really cannot ever see myself selling my silver to buy stocks or selling my silver for a business or anything like that. It's just not really, I just can't see it. But like I was saying, I do think if you want to play the risky game of, you know, buying low, selling high, and flipping silver. Like, with the volatility, I think you stand a better chance of seeing some success than you would with gold, which is, you know, much more stable for a reason. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I don't agree with, you know, flipping metals like that, but if you had to choose a metal to do it with, I think silver stands a better chance. I think silver's the better option if you're gonna try to do that. I don't agree with it, so that's all I'm gonna say, but I think you can afford to play around with silver that way. Gold, on the other hand, I don't think there's a right and wrong time. I don't think that there's a good or bad time. I think it's always a decent time to buy gold, and I don't think you can really go wrong. I don't think by picking up gold from time to time, even if it's just a couple times a year you pick up a little piece of the beautiful yellow metal, I don't think you're ever really going to turn around and be like, man, I wish I didn't buy this gold, because it doesn't take up a lot of room. That's an issue people have with silver. You know, yeah, it's a lot easier to get your hands on a troy ounce or 100 troy ounces than it is to get your hands on a troy ounce or 100 troy ounces of gold. Gold doesn't take up much room. You know, silver, like little by little by little by little, it adds up over time, and all of a sudden, like, you have to buy a whole new safe because you filled up the first one. Gold, on the other hand, you can pack so much more wealth into such a tiny little piece of metal. So that's another convenient factor right there. It takes up like significantly less space, which is awesome. So it's not like you turn around and be like, oh my God, I have an entire room full of gold, and if that does turn into the problem, that's a really good problem to have, but I don't think you're going to get to that point because gold is a little pricey. A little pricey, but I wouldn't say it's overvalued, you know, in any way. So it's just something to think about. All this video is just something to talk about. It's a different perspective. It's something that not a lot of us really, you know, talk about. You know, a lot of it is, you know, either silver or silver and gold. It's not really like an exclusive conversation about gold. So I'm very curious. What are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video when it comes to the beautiful yellow metal? I know this video is something to listen to, not something to watch, but here's another visual for those of you who chose to watch and come for the walk. Here's some fractional gold, some 10th ounce and quarter ounce gold coins from a bunch of different countries. Got a Britannia, Maple Leaf, Eagle, Philharmonic. I don't even remember what else is in there. Anyway, what are your thoughts on gold? When do you think the best time is to buy gold? Or when do you think the best time to buy gold is, I should say? Do you think that there's a right and wrong time? Do you think there's a better and a worse time? Do you think that gold acts as a pretty good buffer? A pretty good form of stability, especially during rocky times? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. And if you like today's video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Go and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. We got t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs, and a bunch of different designs, many of which are helping raise funds and awareness for different charity organizations. Try out some G Fuel energy formula. $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. This right here is Miami Nights. It's like pina colada flavor. This right here, I am declaring G Fuel flavor of the month for July 2023. It's just a perfect summertime flavor. It's my favorite flavor that G Fuel has ever come out with. Absolutely delicious, but they have 50 other flavors, or more than 50 other flavors for you to choose from. And once again, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. It's sugar-free, low-calorie, packed with a whole bunch of vitamins, and most importantly, it's absolutely delicious. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account. You can deposit as little as you'd like, even as little as a penny. It still works, it still counts. You still get your up to 12 free fractional shares. which you can keep or you can sell and take the cash and maybe buy some gold if that's what you want. And of course, every single month they have a new promo going on. I'm filming this in June. It's coming out in July, so I don't know what the promo for the month of July is going to be, but it's always something awesome. Sometimes they give you free Apple stock or free stock of this company or that company. It's always something awesome which you can hold on to if you want, or you could just sell and once again use the cash to buy some gold if that's what you'd like. Sometimes they even give you free cash to invest however you want to invest it, so that's something cool as well. Download the app, fund your account. You're going to get up to 12 free fractional shares just for doing so, and you can find out what the promo for the month of July is going to be. Webull link in the description. Everything is linked in the description. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know one more time. What are your thoughts on the beautiful yellow metal between silver and gold? Which is your preference and why? Why would you rather get $2,000 worth of silver little by little by little until you hit that $2,000 worth mark, as opposed to waiting a couple weeks or waiting a couple months and saving up $2,000 to get $2,000 worth of gold? Which would you rather do and why? Do you agree with me that silver is probably the opportunity metal while gold is the powerhouse metal, the ultimate form of wealth preservation, while silver is the more volatile metal, obviously, and a little bit more sporadic, a little bit more up and down? Maybe there are some more opportunities to buy the dip on silver and maybe either cash out or convert to gold when the price goes up. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.